Welcome to my trailer build. When I first bought this trailer, these were the only two lights in the trailer, and the only time they ran was when this was hooked to the truck and the truck was running. And so in this build, I'm going to add a whole bunch of lights in here so that I can use this trailer for more than just hauling toys in. And so what I want to be able to do is take this to a trailhead, unhook it from my truck, and have lighting in it so that I can unload my machines, stay in the trailer, and goof around that way. So what I need to do for this build was add a battery in here, add all the lighting into it, and it actually turned out to be quite a process. And so I'll take you along for each of those steps. I'll try to keep it rapid so that you can see kind of the directions to do it. But the purpose of this was never to take this to a RV park and plug it in or anything. The purpose of this trailer and this build was so that I could haul this to trailheads, unhook from it, and just camp in it there or use it that way. In doing research for this build, I found lots of videos where people added an inverter in their trailer so they could plug it into 110. That was never my intent, and so this is just at the trailhead. A couple things that I've done with this trailer over the years, and there's another build video that I'll attach at the end of this. When I first bought this trailer, the floor was covered with a really nice floor liner, but it had rotted from the bottom up because they hadn't done anything to the bottom of it. And so I had to tear that entire floor out. And with that, then I cut plywood to fit in here and then took it into a bed liner place and had them do both the top and the bottom and everything in bed liner. And then I re-put this in. I re-caulked the sides and made it so that this is really watertight up to probably about here. Other than the doors, water would leak out, but you can come in here afterwards with the hose and just hose it down. Come along for a cool build. See, I have the first one installed and I'll hook up the wiring later. So I've got 9 more of those to go. Okay, I got all 10 lights put in here, 5 on a side. And so now I'm in the process of pulling wire to each one. So each light has the wire that comes off of it, and then I have to pull wire into it so that I can have both a positive and a negative. That proved to have some problems to start with, but it seems like it's working out well now. So I've drilled a 3/8 inch hole in here, which I'll put a plug on a little bit later on. And then I have to pull the wire through the ceiling. So to pull the wire through the ceiling, I'm using this thing. It's called a fish tape. It's a tape, basically. It goes out like this. And then you can hook the wire to it and pull it back through, so it fishes wires through. Before I do that though, I have to drill a hole in the ceiling, and then I'll run the tape through there over to here, and I'm gonna pull all the wires to this side, and that way I can run all my wiring over there. So I've ran my wire snake over here and it comes out here. I'm going to tape them to my wire snake. Okay, so I've taped my wires to the snake. And I'm going to pull them back in this direction here. So I got my wires down through here now. I can wire that up. I'm going to cut them off here so that I have enough wire to do the job here, and then I can go ahead and pull more wires. So I'm putting some strip lighting in here as well. And this has got an adhesive back on it. So I'm just sticking it up along there. Then I'll have to wire these up when I get done. Okay, I'm stripping these wires here, and you can see this gizmo clamped down on it. Pull that off, then it leaves the wire exposed. Once the wires are stripped, then I put them together and I put this over it. This is a butt joint that you don't clamp. It's got actually solder in here. And so when you heat shrink it, you heat shrink this part here and then the solder automatically melts. So I'm gonna put a light right above this door, and so I have to be able to access the skin of this. And then I'm going to put all my light switches right here, so I need to pull this off so I can cut this plywood and get things done there. So I'm going to have to pull this piece off here, which goes from back here all the way to here. So I'm going to get that pulled off. So this is my ratchet strap holder. There you go. I'm going to put this light right above this door on the outside. I'm going to have to put a piece of strap metal in here so I can bolt it, through to something. Got my light above my door here. And you can see here's the back side of it. I put a piece of strap on there so that it just wouldn't be bolted to the skin. So we'll get that wired in, that'll be nice. Okay, let's spend a minute and talk about wiring here. So I got my battery box there. I got a negative terminal here. The negative terminal goes and hooks to the frame out here. I have another negative wire hooked on that goes all the way out to all these lights. I have two positive wires that will get hooked up here. They'll be hooked on positive. One goes to the truck, and one of them goes up through all of this stuff here. And you can see where the red comes out of this, and the red comes out, and those are going all to lights here. And that power goes all the way back to this fuse block here. And this fuse block is going to get mounted up there. And then, so yeah, everything is wired now. Now it's just a matter of hooking the fuse block up, getting the switches done, and putting this door back, or putting this wall back on. And so that'll probably be tomorrow, but we're getting close. Okay, so I got my base plate here. This is going to be my face plate. I'm going to try to weld that on there. We'll see what that turns out. I'll start by just tacking all four corners. Looks like the heat is right. Those aren't bad little welds. I'm going to tack them both in the middle, and then I'll go to the ends and I'll just start working around. I'm not going to just, if you just run in one place, you'll warp the metal. And so I'm just going to do a little bit here, a little bit until it's done. Well, it's heading in the right direction. I just ran out of wire in my feeder, so I'll have to change the spool on that. And you can see that the metal's getting hot enough that it's actually starting to burn the wood, so I need to let that cool down. But it's off to a decent start, you can see. So I just need to finish up these other places here, and I'll probably hit it with the grinder, and then I'll be able to drill holes in here to put my light switches. Okay, so I put new wire on there, and I'm feeding it through. It needs to come out there. Okay, you can see it's coming out now. Okay, so I got it ground down, and now I'm just going to paint it. This is acetone. Acetone takes off oil and anything else you don't want on there before you paint. I'm going to put primer on it first. Got the wires inside of there. Got a fuse block up there. And then two sets of wires coming down. One of them is hot, and one is the other side of the switch going to the light. Hand model, yep. That might be the only thing I can model. That is 135. Okay. There. Okay.
So I'm in the process of taking this back piece of my trailer off because I want to put backup lights back here. And the whole interior of this trailer just uses a standard drill bit for a drill, either a Phillips or something similar. But the outside of the trailer, or the skin of the trailer, the tin on the outside, requires a specialized weird bit. It's not a T-bit, it's a special bit that kind of looks like a T-bit, except it has more teeth. When I've done work on this trailer before, I've had to just drill things out, use vice grips to pull them out, and I've done enough of it that I got sick of it. So I looked online and I found on Amazon a specialized bit that is just for those, because these 3 screws here require this special bit. I'll drop that in the description just in the event that you need one, but I spent a lot of time trying to find this specific bit. Now with this tin off, I can see the back side of this tin to know if it is, first thing, whenever you're doing anything from the outside in, you don't want to just drill holes and assume that there's nothing in the way. So now I can at least see what's up here, and I'll drill holes, and I can see right now that this is backed with a heavier metal. So the nice thing about that is I'm not going to have to put a back plate behind it or a piece of metal behind it. I'll be able to just drill right through here and bolt it. So I'm going to go ahead and drill holes for both my backup lights. I've pulled wire to here already for my backup lights, and so I'll just have to run wire that direction. I'll probably ground them up close to here, and then we'll be able to get going on that. This wire's already been stripped here. I'm going to strip this wire here, and then this is a butt joint. Okay, and that won't come out. This is red to red. Put that in there. That's done, and then this shrink wrap, so I'm going to wrap that up. I'm going to set this to 450. As it goes, you should be able to see this shrink wrap with the glue stuff tighten up onto the wire. And that makes it so it's waterproof, and it also kind of grips it so that you don't have to worry so much about it coming undone. And I'll do the black one as well. Even though it's black, it's just ground. And it can be grounded anywhere in the trailer because the battery is grounded to the frame, and so anything that's metal you could ground to. But I don't really want to run a screw through here, so I'm going to take it back this way, and I'll join it up, and then I'll ground it over there. And I want to make sure this spring makes it so you can lift the gate back and up and down easily, and I want to make sure that none of those wires get caught up in here, so I'm going to zip tie them to the other wires there, just to make sure everybody's all best of friends. Okay, so you can see both my backup lights are now hooked up and running, and they go through and are just bolted on. And they go through and are bolted here and here, and there's a wire coming through that you can barely see. Good, not close. I can edit that, that's fine.
Hey, thanks for coming along to see my trailer upgrade.